Okay, so welcome back. This is episode 5, I believe. We've just finished making the iron ingot production. We currently have 180 iron ingots being made per minute. What we're going to do is we're going to go and do the copper, which is up over here. This factory, this copper mine, is going to turn the ore into ingots and then process it directly into wire. So we're going to go from miner to wire and out. That's going to be the factory I think we're going to build here. Okay, so let's get the Mark 1 miner, and this should do 60. Let's output it into this area. This should do 60 copper ore per minute for 5 megawatts. Good. Right, let's have a look at, let's put a smelter down. Let's have a quick look. Iron ingots, this should be the same, 30. So we just need the same setup as down there. For the iron, we'll split each mine into 2 smelters. But we need to make sure that in the future, like we're potentially going to use 6 smelters for 1 mine. So we're going to plan that here. We're going to potentially use 6 smelters for 1 mine. And splitting, let's say 180. If we said this was 180, it's not at the moment. So we're going to split this 3 times. That splitter is bound to a hotkey. This comes out of here first and then gets split. Well, it's fine. We can just move it out a bit further, just to allow it to get a shape. But it's a bit of a funny out. So then we need to take each of these, and each of these needs to be split into 1 more. So if we were to say this was going to go to 1 set out here, this goes to 1 set out here. This is the one we're going to focus on out here today. So we'll take this and then we'll split it again into 2. We put it right on this thing and then just use the conveyor belt again, just to get it lined up, so that lines it up. I think we'll come out with a 2 again, and then have a shorter run. But then I always would have to do that silly pole thing. I don't think that was right. Was that 2? That looks like 2. Make up from there. Our smelters. Going the right way around. I can't wait for blueprints. The day that we get blueprints is going to be incredible. We'll put them here. We don't mind if they're a little bit further out than they need to be. It's nice to see some things on the belts. Join that up. This is all we can do at the moment. I'm going to delete these poles again. It gives us a bit of resources back, and you don't need it on this point because it looks like it goes straight in. These make iron ingots. We're probably going to have another 2 here. These will come round and split again. So if I was to build that now, like put it in place. So we're going to put another smelter next to it, so we give it a little bit of room. So we can walk through it. Don't think we're ever going to need to put a conveyor belt through it, so we'll put it there so we can walk through it. That's going to be our line. If we can get the splitter in the same orientation, I think it needs to go there. Okay, so that splitter's lined up, and then this belt will go into here eventually. So you go the way you want it to be, and then go back 2, and then you get the lovely curve straight in. What? Is this the wrong way around? It's not the wrong way around, is it? It's the way. Ah, forever. Let me just have a look. In is back that way. We can join that into there. And actually, I've done that wrong. I mean, we could do this way for these 2. Do it slightly different. We don't want to build them all the same, do we? Build it out, bring it out by 1. See the line in the middle of the 2 things up here, the 2 smelters, when they're lined up, the green line. We'll just put it out by 1. I might have to do the other one just to make sure that we get it fully symmetrical now then. So those 2 just come off this one, so they're not split that way. And then we'll do exactly the same on this side. Just so that we make sure that we've got enough room for when we expand. And if we do this now, then we can literally just press expand when we're ready, which is not going to be for a while. Right, that looks pretty symmetrical. Now all of these, none of these yet will be on, so we're just going to leave these off. Turn all of these off, because there'll be no auto process. The only oil's going to come out the middle. We will probably fill them up, but we're going to make sure they're switched off. And we can do that up. Don't need that there. Any more of these? We don't need this one. That one looks like it supports that pole. Same with this one over here. I don't need that one. Okay, actually, thinking about it, I see no problem having a storage tank here. Having the miner, there's only one, and these might fill up at some point, back up. It'd be nice to have the ore, like in this one, we're getting the rods. I mean, we're not collecting the ore. Maybe it would be good to put the ore through a storage tank before. Let's try it. If we turn this round, we can put this drill backwards, like that. No, it needs to be on the grid. So let's get it on the grid. When it does the 90-degree rotations, you can tell it's not on the tiles. When it does the smaller rotations, we can tell it's matching to the tiles. Like here, you can do like increments now. Now it's on the tile grid. So we'll come out backwards. Let's put a storage tank. Just to put like a little test to see, is this side going to work? And knowing that splitter is now not in the right place. Okay, that's good. That's good. You can't actually. Okay, you literally cannot get up on that. Okay. Remember that. So this comes out of the miner into a storage chest, which will just store as much as we can. Although at the moment it's going to go in and straight out, because it's going to be 60 in, 60 out. I could like block these, but I think the ore will just go into there, ready to be processed, and then stop, and then back up, and then go this way only. So as soon as we start it, the ore's going to split up a bit weirdly, or we could just remove this conveyor belt to make sure it only goes forward. Let's do that. We're going to waste all the ore we're going to pick up now. And then this comes out at 30 a second, right? And then we need to merge it back into one. When they're all working, we should have the higher tier conveyor belts. And merging higher tier conveyor belt items onto a fast conveyor belt is really easy. Splitting them is harder, because you're going to make sure you split them in the right proportions. But merging them, you can merge two 6s into a 120. You can merge two 6s into two 6s from a Mark 1 conveyor belt into a Mark 2 conveyor belt. You can also merge two 6s into a Mark 3 or a Mark 4, and it'll work. So as long as the output of the merge is more than the input. Right, let's put this down. We'll give ourselves a bit of room for the split, as these might need something else, but that should be enough room for the split. Back to, and then into this splitter. What, did I do it wrong again? I did. Oh, it's a merger. Okay. Oh, that's a merger, right? As a merger. Okay, we got it. we good. Same for this one. Back to there. Okay, so we set up our 6 smelters here, and we have these 2 coming out into 1. We just put down a constructor and let's see what we get off this constructor when we make iron wire, which is, just go back to the recipes, which is the only thing we can make. We got iron plates at the moment, and in the future we can only ever make wire from ingots, so we're going to be making that here. But this makes 45 wire, which is not a good number for 60, 120 or the other conveyor belt transport speeds. We can't combine 2 constructors into 1 conveyor belt, because there'll be an excess of wire, because we've only got 60 max limit on conveyor belt Mark 1s, and we'd have 90 coming out of here. But what we're going to do is going to take this out. We're just going to split each one of these into 2. So each out goes into a 2. Does this mess up the alignment for this? It does a bit, doesn't it? We want 2 out of these. I suppose we could use these ones and these ones. We can't use that. No. So we could use the 2 on the ends. We might have to move these in. If we put a splitter, and I want 2 out of that, so we can still use 2 out of that. Okay, so this will still work. So we'll put the splitters like that. Each one has its own splitter coming out. Obviously, we're not going to use these far ones at the moment. We're only using these inward ones. So these inward ones can come up and look quite nice coming this way. I'm sorry, what the hell has happened here? Let's just put the poles down. So we go 2 over. Is that right? Okay, that's right. And that's square, is it? 'Cause sometimes when it puts it down, it does not put it down square, which is what gives us this little funny kink thing. You go onto there. Yeah, if you're coming out here, can you? If you come out here, I wonder how far. I wonder what the difference is for the constructors. They are quite big. But we could do some kind of sort of fishtail. So we put a constructor here, and then a line going in for another one behind it. And like stagger them, so there's sort of zigzag. The constructors zigzag in and out, and that's gonna be 2 out from that. Actually, I don't think that'll fit. That fits. And then the holes in the place, but we'll feel. These are just for location markers for future. So that's our one side. So these are all going to be outputs. These are all split into 15, going straight into the constructors. Let's put one constructor down and see how we can zigzag it out. To make sure. Oh no, actually, this one comes. I just come out the wrong one. My bad. This one needs to come out this side. So we've got 2 out of each of them. 2 out of these 2. Oh, that actually looks really nice. That fits really well. And they're all fairly equidistant, apart from those ones. These look quite equidistant. Okay, so let's put our first constructor, and let's see how we can line this up. This does not look like it's going to work. That would go straight into there, but then this one would have to go around this item. If I do one here, these line up and allow us to... Where's the... Oh, there you go. So from the 2 middle, it's gonna make it quite big though, isn't it? So from the 2 middle ones, we can go straight out from here. And then we're gonna have to put another one on the side. This one needs to come out. Let's just get rid of that for now. And then let's put our next constructor down. But if we put the next constructors back here, we need to figure out where we can put this pole without it messing up. Okay, so if we put the constructor so that the entrance is lined up with that pole, and stagger these things. Put that in there. That staggers that on that side. It seems to be the closest we can get to that thing on that side. So that one will come out like that. And then we'll have one which falls in this side. Wherever it comes. And then another constructor at the back. We'll probably run out of stuff while we're building all these constructors now. We don't have enough ingredients. But we'll keep building until we run out. Build it the wrong way around. Oh yeah, the amount of times I build things the wrong way around in this game. It's crazy. No? Oh, I built this one the wrong way around. So this is going to be our sort of concertina effect. So you can probably put these down and then figure out where we need to put the furnaces, the smelters, sorry, in order to line up successfully with them. So we need it to be as close as we can to that. don't think we're going to put them all down. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll put one side down now, and then just measure out how big one side is. Because one side is going to get big pretty fast. And each machine has 2, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 machines. And it's only 3 machines this side, so we only need one more constructor here. Let's make the pole first. I think it has to go there. See, I'm making it go this way. Whereas I just want to make it go this way instead. Put the constructor down, make sure it's orange. So, these 2 smelters, sorry, this one smelter splits into this and this. I don't have the conveyor belt going. This smelter splits into a constructor that's going here, which we can put in because it doesn't take any things that we didn't have. Encroaching others' clearance. That would go in there. Okay, that goes in there like that. So this furnace should, in theory, line up. I mean, yeah, the smelter, sorry. The smelter should line up with this thing. Let's get rid of all of these at the back. Because we're going to need to move this splitter now as well. Just get rid of all of that. We'll put this smelter. This is why we're building like the whole thing now. So we know exactly where everything's going to lie. Otherwise we'll have to remove all this when we upgrade later in the future. So I'm going to spend a bit of time now sorting this out. And then we'll have the splitter, another splitter. Went out from that. And then that would go out from there. We need to remove this because it probably won't work, so we need to make sure we put it in. I'm going to make a little one. Because I haven't got many iron plates left. And that will come out of there into there. But each one has 2 outs. And it goes into that. And then the next one will line up with this. Okay, this looks nice. This looks really nice. I love the symmetry and uniformity of it all. Okay, so the next smelter comes in and it outputs down here. Look for the green lines on the floor. Use that as your guide to line things up. Actually, I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to... Well, I'm not going to pause the video here. I'm going to nip down to my base and get some more iron plates. Alright, so welcome back. We now have loads of iron to be able to build all the things we need. Let's build this conveyor belt out and connect this furnace up. We're going to do the same trick again, although this tree is now in the way. Like that. Hopefully that's straight through the tree. Right, okay. And then this will join up with that. We need to split it in the middle, so let's put the splitter first because we want to connect. It's better to put the splitters down than try and add them to this when they get slidey on the things. It's really hard to place. You can go anywhere, so we want to place them so they're all nice and uniform. Get the arrows lined up. Go out of there. Get rid of that because we don't need it. Save some resources. This does not work straight out of there. Just go back 2. Always just go back 2 and get this nice curve. That smelter comes out of there. We can connect all of these up again now, since we've got enough iron, so we can see exactly what is going on. So each furnace powers 2 2 what are they called? Constructors. Each furnace powers 2 constructors. Because we have 30 copper ingots coming out of these. And these take 15 copper ingots to make wire. We'll figure out what we're going to do with the output of the wire in a second. These 4 outer machines are not going to be turned on yet. Maybe they'll be turned on sequentially as we upgrade the factory. This is for longevity. And this neat, the way we've done this with a little stagger. Hang on, let me just jump up here. The way we've done this with a little stagger is we've compacted like what, 12 constructors into this small little space. Which is super efficient. But we need to connect this one up. No, that's not right. Why has that done that? Let's connect this one up. Guessing. Guessing is not good. Don't guess. I think I know only one back. Two back. Okay, that looks better. This is super neat, super compact. And all we need to do is mirror it on this side. What we've done on this side. So instead of boring you, I will return shortly once I have built this side up. Okay, I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, so as if by magic, we now have another 6 constructors over here, making the wire off all of these lovely smelters or furnaces. The miner comes in. It will be split once we upgrade the miner. This is for future development, should we call it. Currently it's going to come in. We don't need this at the moment. We're going to keep it there. And 60 copper ore per minute. And it's going to come in and be split into these 2. These 2 then go into a splitter and get split again. These output 30 per minute of copper ingots and go into each of these, which take 15 in. And each of these produce wire. We need to set the recipes up. Connect that. Move that. So both of these make wire, and then both of these also make wire. So we've got 4 wire producers off these 2 furnaces. So let's get the power poles set up. I will quickly run around and do all of the power poles now, and then we will look at doing the outputs. So we'll be back in 1 second. We can't afford the power poles. We don't have any copper. Okay, so we are back. That did not take long at all. We now have wire, and we're going to continue on with the power cables. So welcome back. I think we have all the power poles set up. Each machine has its own power pole. All quite neat. The 2 that do not. All of these machines over here, these machines come off 1 power pole. So we've got this 1 power pole powers these 2 machines. This 1 power pole powers those 2 machines, and so forth. And we've also got another, like, I know we've maxed out all the connections on those now. But we are not going to connect anything internally, I don't think. We do have some connections externally and another one externally over there. We're just not going to connect anything else to this one, which is why I don't think we need to make another pole back there. We'll see how that goes. This horrible 45 doesn't allow us to join 2 lines into 1 Mark 1 conveyor belt. That goes into there, and that goes into there. Then this literally... Okay, so this literally gets split. So this should be a 3rd coming out. Again, we'll do the alignments in a minute. And this should be 2 thirds coming out. Because we're just taking a 3rd this way, a 3rd this way, and a 3rd this way, and rejoining these 2 to make 2 thirds. So this is now a 30 per minute wire line, and this is now a 15 per minute wire line. And I have had a think about a better way to do it, and I think this is a really good way to do it. It looks complicated at first. It looks really complicated at first, but don't worry. Let me build a lookout tower. We can build a lookout tower. Let's build a lookout tower and have a look at what we're actually doing. So now what we have is 45 out of this machine, which goes into this merger and out. This goes from here into a splitter. 15 goes out along this route, 15 goes out along this route, and 15 goes out along this route. 15 goes into this 45 to make 60, so 60 comes out of this line. 15 comes out of this one, 15 comes out of this one, into this one, so 30 comes out of this line. The same thing happens over here. So we have 45 out of here. That gets split into 15, 15 and 15. 15 goes this way, 15 goes this way into 30. This 30 goes into this one, which turns into this 30 to give us 60, which comes out here. So we have a 60 out and a 60 out. This does exactly the same, which has got the 15 from this one and the 45 from this one to make a 60 out. The N2 have 30 coming out of them. All of the other ones should have, if the maths are correct, 60 per minute coming out. Even this one here, if I don't fall off. Even this one has 60 a minute coming out. I think that's what I love about these types of games. Like, setting up this sort of stuff is fun. For me, anyway, fun. And then turning it on and seeing it actually work, I'm excited. And I've just thought, we're not using these for smelters or constructors at the moment. The 2 smelters at the back and the 4 constructors at the front here. Or the other way around, depending on how you look at it. We're only using these. So, since we're only using these 2 and these 2 constructors, what we will end up with is 60 on this belt and 30 on these 2 belts. No, 60 on these belts, I'm sorry. And then 30 on these 2 belts. Because these ones will not be injecting anything. But once they do, they will add 30 to it. So this one will be 30, this one will be 60. So I'm going to put them right on the edge here and then remove the supports. We'll put this on the 61, not on the 31, on the 61. Alright, let's take that off. Connect that one up. Okay, so now these are going to connect 60 a minute into each of these containers. I mean, we could take these 2 and merge them together into a 3rd container. So we'll run that into there. That into there, and then we just need to take these ones and boost them up, and then they can come out. Okay, good. Now we have 3 60s. Okay, I might be able to start this going then. So this is just going to be, we'll make the cable and stuff after we've got it all into these cables, into these storage tanks, and these are going to be copper wire storage tanks. This is exciting. All right, let's go and turn everything on. So we've currently got a 5 megawatt, a 4 which makes 9, another 4 which makes 13. And then 8 and 16, which makes 29. Okay, so we need 29 megawatts of power. So that's 2 burners. Let me see if we can make them. I'm just going to put them out here because these are like temporary. So these are the bio burners. 2 of these makes 40. Connect them to this power line. We have some biofuel ready to go. This is exciting. Okay, we're going to start it. We're going to start it, guys. As soon as we connect this up, it should all fire up and start working. Fingers crossed, everybody. Let's go. Right, miner drill. Oh, hang on. And we disconnected these so that none of the ore goes this way. But first of all, it's going to go straight out of here. Okay, lovely. 60 a second. 60 a minute, sorry. Into storage ready in case, but it's going to go straight out of storage. Okay, and then this goes into this splitter, which doesn't do anything yet, which goes straight into the next splitter. Should give us 30 each side, ready for smelting. Each one of them smelts at 30 a minute, takes 30 copper ore in a minute, and produces 30 ingots a minute. Yeah, we have a problem with this splitter. Let's remove this. Let's put these belts back on. Sometimes the splitters go a bit funky with the outputs. If you put them down and delete them and then put them down again. Let's try the input one. Maybe that inputting properly into the splitter. Now that looks better. The output half and half. Let's see if this one isn't working. Let's test the input first. Let's take them out of here. They split. They do split. It says this one first. This one's doing better. This one was first. These take 15 ingots, which is what we're giving them, and they produce 45 wire a second. Okay, let's check the splitters are working properly and the mergers. They're not working at all. Does that make it work? Alright, that makes it work. There's something wrong with the ins. Okay, when this one starts working, it will feed into this one. This one's currently doing 45 a second. This one not on? That one should be on, I think. Yeah, these two should be on. Those two are on. This has got a problem here. Let's feed this in again and see if this makes it work. I hate the way you can jump up sometimes and you can't others. They want to fix that so that you can just jump up all the time. And then this doesn't appear to be working. There's no output. Let's just fix the output. Let's just see if this works. Okay, they're feeding into there. Yeah, this is good, this is good. So they're feeding into there. These that go round into this way. So this should now be... This is not working. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, this is now working. So this splits 3 ways. This makes this 60. This fills in the the little gap we've got in the chain. And that produces 3 constant lines of 60. Why are these backing up so much? These are only at 30, aren't they? I think it was because of the backlog that we had in the machines before we actually turned them on and set up these things. This should now work better. This should be 100% now, I think, in theory. From the miner down to here, this is now 100% production. 3 lines of 60 in. Annoyingly, we can't split them into one container. We have to put them into each individual container. But we are getting, we are getting a large amount of wires down here now, which is perfect. And it's only going to get bigger and better once we add these other ones in. So that's the copper wire production done and ready for 2 stages of upgrades. But I think that's very successful. That is very good. But this is going to end this episode. I hope you've enjoyed this rather extensive, I think, copper wire setup. But for longevity, I think it's going to serve us really well. So thanks for watching, and I'm not sure what we're going to do in the next episode, but tune in. I hope you've thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day. See you later.